Well, you've seen us get the old motor out. You've seen us get the new motor in. You've seen us build her a lower cradle. You've seen us do the bumper. You've seen us do, well, seen most of us on the upper rad support. What's coming next, you may ask? And I'm going to tell you. It's suspension. So today, we're going to be putting suspension inside of this. This is probably the easiest one I've had to do to put W bodies in a Camry. So what we have here is a W body suspension. Now I got lucky and I ended up picking up a 92 W body front suspension. So that actually allows me to run 14-inch tires on this. So we have put Camry top hats on W body bottoms. Terrifying. If you guys do not have a fully shielded in strut compressor, you're going to have a bad time. I have one and I had a bad time. One of these top hats probably went 200 feet in the air and we all just kind of ducked. Luckily, it fell on the neighbor's car on his own property, so it's not my fault. I should have used the top hats off of this Camry, but I have no idea where I put these struts, so I used the top hats off of a older style Camry. Now, to put older style Camrys in here, you have to make these holes just a little bit bigger. So we are just going to drill these holes out just a wee bit bigger and then put washers when we put them down. So let's drill these holes out so we can get this strut in there. If you guys are wondering why I cut the V on this top of the strut, it's because I couldn't get my tool out. I had a strut spring compressor in there and I physically could not get it out. And I said, screw it. And I took a mini grinder and I cut it out. These were not an easy swap to do. If you're gonna do this, take out life insurance. All right, now these are very heavy. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it'd be nice if you had a little bit of help. I will say that. Oh, much better. Oh my goodness, much better. All right. We're just gonna tighten these down and then we're gonna go from there. Let's tighten these down. I think this battery's just about dead. To be honest, I think almost all my batteries are dead here. That sounds better. One of the most frequently asked questions I get on my DMs or private messages or whatever you guys want to call them is, how do you do the W body swap? And there's actually people out there making kits for them, but I have never bought a kit. I'm more of the type of guy just to build everything I want and go from there. So the secret basically comes down to these ball joints. And I believe 729 Customs sells them. Great guy. Great guy. I've never met a guy nicer than him down at Blizzard Bash. A real builder that guy is. But I think there's even another company out there. I can't remember their name off the top of my head, but there's definitely another company out there of people doing it. Oh. I'm so used to the older style. Okay. I really wish I could have put different control arms inside this thing. Okay. So now, like I said, there's a couple of people that make these kits. Again, I've never bought one. All I've done is build my own, but I can't give it away, guys. I get so many questions from you guys. Oh, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I give you guys a lot of things, but I can't give you this. My problem is, I'm like 38 now. When I got into this sport, I did my first one when I was 17, and I didn't do another one until I was like, I think 22, 23. And when I got in, the second time, to derbies, nobody helped me. You know what their help was? Putting me into the corner and feeding it to me. And when I asked for help, I was told to just figure it out. It's not that hard. And I'm a firm believer in that if you give a guy a fish, he's gonna eat for a day. You give a guy a fishing rod, he'll eat forever. So you guys just gotta learn to build. Is it gonna be right every time? No. You guys gonna make mistakes? Yes, but we all make mistakes. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, everybody makes mistakes. If you think you don't make mistakes, check yourself. But, so yeah, we're just basically here doing this. It looks like it's all going together. Next thing we got to take apart is the tie rods. Let's get these bottom ball joints together so we can take the tie rods off. So where we are now, we got the tie rods done. We got to do the brakes. So I wish I had a gun that would just work all the time. So these right here are the W body brakes. Now we got to use the W body bolt because the Toyota one will not thread in. But I want to save all these little copper washers here. So why they use copper washers is to stop the brakes from leaking. Yeah, if you guys don't know, your brakes are super high pressure, and high pressure things are hard to keep fluid in, so the mounting surfaces do get a little rough. So they use these copper crush washers. Now they do get rusty, so what I'm doing is just cleaning them up. Try not to lose it. So I actually do double them up. I do put the factory Toyota ones on there and these ones. And we're just gonna put that there. You know what, let's use some brake clean on this. There we go. Just gotta clean up this one. So the W body ones are 11 mil. Cavalier ones are usually 11 mil as well. GM, the older GMs are usually 11. I'm not sure what the newer ones are. Never done this to a newer one. And the Toyotas are usually 14. This feels fantastic on my skin. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna quickly get everything ready here. You wanna be as fast as you can, because then you lose as little fluids as possible. Where's the 14 mil gone? Okay, so what we're gonna do, we have everything ready. I just wanna get this 11 mil ready. Now there's still gonna be air inside of there. We just wanna be it as quick as possible. Okay, quickly pull that out. Now we fumble everything. Fumble everything. I love fumbling stuff. We're just making sure that there's no air in the system as we just screw everything up. Just gonna screw that in there. Change the gun from 14 to 11. I'm so happy I'm being quick at this. Now we're just gonna make sure that that's not leaking. We don't have any pressure there, but it'll still leak. Now, these Toyota brakes are garbage. So we do have to do the other side on this. And I am just going to quickly throw that onto there. Throw a self-tapper into there like that. And then hopefully this is done. I forgot I bought a Milwaukee set that's got 1.5 inches. I don't think it's 1.5 inches, but it is working to get on there. Let's do the other side. Well, as far as I'm concerned, these are done. We got pretty much everything done. The only thing I might cut away is this. But I might leave it. I don't know. Let's go get some tires and throw onto this thing and see how it looks. So even though the center bore's wrong, that kind of lines up pretty nicely. Let's bring it down and see how she looks. We only got one tire on there. We don't have the passenger front tire. Let's see how she looks. Now, mind you, we only have one tire on this car, so it is sitting a little low in the front. But this thing's sitting like 2.5 miles high on the back, and we're like 17 inches here on the bumper. I don't like this. I think we're going to have to run some pretty big tires on this car. Oof. You know what? I'm going to get one more tire for the other side to see how it looks with actually 4 tires on it. I do think that this engine is a lot heavier than what this car is happy with. Okay, so we're like 22 inches. So we did gain quite a bit of height there. What's our height to the top of the rim? We're like 20 inches to the top of the rim. I think this is going to be okay, but I think I'm going to have to lower the back of this thing. I don't have anything done to the back. The back is 100% stock as of right now. But, my God. She's a bit low in the front, I will say that. Let's get you a better perspective. Well, she moves. She doesn't fall apart. A little lower than I want it to be, but it is pretty good. Like, these are some bigger tires too. Like, I could probably get away with running 25s, or I might even run those little V-treads again. I feel like the W body stuff in the older Camry gives me more height. I think in this one, I don't have nearly the amount of height in the front as I did with the other one. But it might also be just because of how tall the back is right now. So, saying that, I think that we are going to be moving on to the cage. And then once the cage gets done, then I can start on the engine to make sure it actually runs. I'm going to be trying to take this thing in and see if I can get a power steering hose made. I think there was a couple things I could have done differently. I think I could have angled the motor back just a bit more. It's way too late to do it now, but I think it could have been done. But hey, thinking of how you could have been doing it differently is part of the battle, and the next one I build, maybe I will do it differently. Maybe I'll just try to tilt it back a bit. Maybe I could change up the motor mounts just a bit. But I do think it should have came back. The motor is well in front of the actual car. I'm going to be hitting with this engine. I don't think the engine's going to survive this derby. I think that it will die an explosive death. I think it's going to be fun. But We're going to be putting the NG Customs cage in this, the complete bolt-in cage, the cage that I've ran down at Mini Meltdown every time I've gone down there. So the cage should go in pretty nicely. We'll probably remove the windshield when we do that and start moving some stuff and taking out the rest of the dash. So make sure you guys come back tomorrow because we're going to be starting on the cage, and I know you guys don't want to miss that because by the viewer count, you guys are super invested inside this car. I like it. I just think most people's bumpers are going to be above my bumper, which sucks. Which definitely sucks. But if the motor has to die, it has to die. Thanks for watching, guys. See you back here later on Zach's Workshop.